What's up guys, Wolf here. Welcome to another Diablo 4 video. In today's video, I'm going to showcase my new best Necromancer build. This setup is going to be a Bone Spear / minion build, and we also have a little bit of blood skill utility to heal your minions and yourself. So there's a lot going on with this build. There's a lot to discuss and talk about. I really do hope you enjoy this setup. Before we get into the video, a quick thank you to today's sponsor. Skytech Gaming, Intel, and Signal RGB have come together to bring you this Diablo 4 inspired PC, and I'm sure you will agree it looks incredible. The swirling potions inside react to your health and resources in real time. This is made possible by the Signal RGB app, which syncs RGB devices from any brand to bring you a cohesive lighting experience. The Skytech team designed and 3D printed this custom PC with performance and cooling in mind. This hand-painted chest contains the 13th gen Intel 13600K and the RTX 4070, giving you all the legendary hardware you need to defeat Lilith and save Sanctuary. To enter the giveaway, click the link in the video description. Now guys, go and do it. Go check this out and make sure to enter this giveaway to win this incredible PC. I've taken all of the strongest elements of the Necromancer and put it all into one perfect build. I've been spending days trying to find the right combination, and I finally found it. Any tier nightmare dungeon you can go in depending on your level, and you can just speed run through it. Your minions act as distractions. They take aggro. They also deal high amounts of damage. And not just that, but we can hit over 1 million damage a shot with the Bone Spear. Now obviously it's not going to be as high as a full maxed out Bone Spear build, but we have got enough damage so that we can 1 to 2 shot enemies on World Tier 4 Nightmare Dungeon 40, for example, easily. And the amount of blood orbs that I can spawn with this build is next level, and it really makes us a lot stronger, and we can survive with this build more than you can with any other Bone Spear build. So this is going to be, in my opinion, the best Necromancer build, the most efficient way to run it. So I really do hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Let's get into the description and we'll go through the build in full detail. This build makes Necromancer a lot easier. Now, when I used my Bone Spear build previously, I did make that video already. Check the link in the description if you guys want to go have a look at that setup. I was squishy. I was dying a lot with that build. With this build, if you use it effectively, you will hardly ever die. Not only do your minions do a lot of the work for you, but if you work together with them and you spam your Bone Spear, and let me tell you now, we have almost infinite essence with this build. You can just dish out millions of damage per second. It's just ridiculous. So how I would enter an engagement is simple. I would it depends on the situation. If there's a corpse on the floor, I would use my corpse tendrils, or I would send my golem. He becomes unstoppable and he smacks the floor, makes enemies vulnerable. Then what I would do, my minions would jump in there, and then I would just spam a Bone Spear. Then I would use corpse tendrils after there. It depends if there's a corpse available. Use corpse tendrils, bring them all together, then maybe put a bone prism around the grouped mob, and then just keep spamming Hemorrhage, which is a basic skill that spawns blood orbs, and Bone Spear. So the Bone Spear will do about 200k on the initial hit. Then when they return, some more 200k shots. So it's over 1 million damage per shot. Now, the return shot is actually more damage generally, obviously because there's going to be more. So that's typically how I play it. It doesn't have to be in that order. You can play very casually with the setup, but we can get blood orbs from corpse tendrils and from Hemorrhage. Hemorrhage is nice because it fortifies you as well. When you pick up a blood orb, it heals you and it heals your minions. There's a lot of utility, and the survivability is better than any Necromancer build I have used in the game so far. So not only are you tanky, but you also dish out huge amounts of damage, and your minions aggro the enemies away from you. Even fighting world bosses, like I was fighting a Shava with a few other people, not many, we were dealing lots of damage, and I could tank shots from a Shava and hardly even feel it. It wasn't even hurting me. Obviously, every now and again, the poison can hurt because we have an issue with resistances in this game, but it's due to be fixed soon. But you can tank a lot of damage and just use Hemorrhage. That's why I use Hemorrhage as a basic skill, so that I can generate blood orbs and fortify myself, which is nice. So single targets, it works great as well. Bone Prism, get more essence. We have got a lot going on with this setup, and I promise you guys right now, if you try this, you will never change this build again. It is my new favorite. I think I'm going to keep this build from now on. It's really powerful and it works incredibly well. So let's take a look at the skill tree. Now, The skill tree is not that complicated, but I need to showcase a few things in a bit of detail so you understand what's going on here. There are really different options here, guys. You can use Reap. You can go for Bone Splinters. You can even use a Corpse Explosion or not even use a basic skill. I use this because there are more Blood Orbs. I like to do higher Nightmare dungeons. So with a Blood Orb, it's just really nice. So Hemorrhage is great for spawning Blood Orbs and for fortifying you. I only do this every now and again if I need the survivability, but you don't have to go for this. I've gone this side here, just 1 out of 5 for this. It's up to you though. You can go for whatever you want. I tried everything else. This just worked and I could feel it. Then over here, I've gone for Unliving Energy, more essence, and we cost more essence, but I would actually put this 3 out of 3 because we never really run out of essence because we're rezzing our minions all the time, because you also give your minions a damage boost for a few seconds. That's why I don't really spam Corpse Explosion. I just spam that, giving them damage, healing them with the mages. So whenever you actually try and spawn one of your minions and they're all alive, then it's going to heal them. Your mage will come out of the ground and heal all your minions. So that's very good. So I do actually recommend going for this. We can hit more damage. That's multiplicative. It's going to be really good as well. Then Bone Spear. Try get more than 5 out of 5. We can hit huge numbers. Paranormal Bone Spear works incredibly well. That's it for there. Going on to this section, guys. We want to make sure we buff our minions because we are combining Bone Spear and minions. We've got to kind of go 50-50. You can sway it more Bone Spear and just have your minions to help. But remember, if you're going to be doing that and they're going to be dying instantly, you might as well just go for a Bone Spear build or go all out into the minions. But the balance, I recommend going around about 50-50, especially on the Paragon board and the gear, which you'll be seeing shortly. Bone Prism, just 1 out of 5. It's up to you. I've gone for Dreadful Bone Prism. This is great, and I recommend this. So we can fortify for each enemy trapped in the Bone Prism, and you can either make them vulnerable or do that. Doesn't matter. Then we also get essence. So there's so much going on here, and when they're all bunched together, your minions have a field day. And they really enjoy that. Trust me, they go for the enemies and they rip them to pieces. It's a lot of fun. Then we've got Fueled by Death. Deal increased damage. You can have 1 or up to 3. It doesn't matter. Consuming a corpse generates 4 essence. Yes, when you are rezzing your minions, it does consume a corpse and healing them. So just remember that, so it will work. So definitely go for that. But it's up to you. It depends how often you want to spam your skills. Then Skeletal Mages. Make sure this is 3 out of 3. Quite important. And then more damage to distant enemies, because we're going to be playing a bit further away than our minions, but we also want to try and keep close to them to pick up the Blood Orbs to heal them, which is why we've got Transfusion. Blood Orbs also heal minions for 30% of the amount, and I've got this for that amount, 2 out of 3. You could go for the next one, which is 45%. It's up to you. Corpse Tendrils. I've gone for this right here. Blighted Corpse Tendrils. More Blood Orbs. This is huge. I really do recommend this. The vulnerability comes from my Golem and my Bone Spear and also the actual Bone Prism. It's up to you if you spec it that way. So you don't have to go for Plagued, but I recommend this one because of the Blood Orbs. Blood Orbs are so vital to surviving, especially playing higher tier Nightmare dungeons on World Tier 4. Then we've got this, guys. When a corpse is formed from your skills or your minions, that's why we have got this certain type of minions that we've got the skeletal ones with the scythes, because they are going to be carving the flesh off the enemies, spawning more corpses. This fortifies. Honestly, guys, this is very important. I would make sure you go 3 out of 3 with this one. Then Serration, or this bone section, it's really up to you. It depends how far you want to go with this. I've kind of gone more for Evulsion. Your bone skills deal 18% increased critical strike damage to vulnerable enemies. They're always going to be vulnerable, so that makes sense. You can go this section. It's really up to you how you spec into that. This side, Golem Mastery, important. Then some more minions section here. After you're healthy, at least 4 seconds, your minions gain 12% attack speed. Attack speed is very important with minions. Try get them armor, make them attack faster. This gives them increased damage while you are close to them. Like I said before, we want to kind of keep a bit of distance. So you could maybe rather have damage to closer enemies, or rather have damage while you're close than distant. It depends. I like to fire my Bone Spear, then enter the engagement. So you need to try and think about that and how you play. 2 out of 3 for the Bonded in Essence, and then 1 for Death's Defense. Very good. Then I've got this one right here, Ossified Essence. I think this is quite important for the aspect on my gloves. We don't have to go for that. If you don't have that aspect, then go for this one. It just depends which direction you want to go into. So the Paragon board is quite simple, to be honest, and I recommend speccing it the way I have because I've wasted millions of gold trying to respec this and make it perfect, and I finally found a really good way of doing this. So I've gone towards the right hand side. I think it's important for more damage. Then the glyph I have used is going to be warrior. So more dexterity, skeletal warriors deal increased damage, and more armor for your skeletal warriors, which I think is really, really good. I've also gone for preservation, this rare node, for more armor and intelligence damage. That's good. Then we move up here and go for bone graft. You don't have to go this way. You can go this one first, then bone graft. Go up, take the critical strike damage with bone skills and the bone damage. I haven't gone for here because that's just going to be life, and I wanted to try and be more efficient going to the left hand side because we want to go towards this section. So critical strike chance with bone skills. Potion healing is also quite strong. Make sure this legendary node is obtained. It's very good. Then I've gone here and I've put this one exploit because there's quite a bit of dexterity around me. This is going to be really good. Damage to vulnerable enemies. Also, this is one of the more important ones, but it depends how many other options you have to generate essence. There are some good aspects on jewelry that I'm going to showcase just now. So I do recommend going for this though, because we can consistently spam our bone spear and dish out millions of damage. So why not? Why not get some essence on kill and max essence? So go this direction here. Then I'm going to branch off to this next one, which I do recommend this board. This is Cult Leader. Make sure this is activated. We also want minion armor and minion maximum life. Then I've gone across. I've kind of avoided infused caster. Gone for this one. You have minion damage and minion attack speed are very good. I put this glyph. Gravekeeper. You deal 2% increased damage up to 12% for each close corpse. This is really good. I recommend this one. But you can use whatever else as long as you're going to go bone spear, or you're going to go or vulnerable damage, crit damage. Just try and make sure you can activate this. There are enough dexterity nodes here, so I will be able to maximize it. I like to make sure they're all in the green. I'm still missing so much damage here, but I need to level up, guys. I've got other characters. I've got my rogue almost level 60, so I'm going to be bringing out rogue builds. I don't want to spend all my life, because I am quite busy, going to level 100 with one character, so hopefully you appreciate that. But I will make this build stronger. I will kind of showcase level 100 stuff later on, so we can get more minion damage and also some more damage reduction. I definitely go that route. Maybe branch off here and then attach another board. That I will update you guys later on. Then let's take a look at the gear. The gear is going to be one of the more difficult things because you need to try and get some pieces. Now, the Ring of Mendel, it isn't entirely bugged. There's a few more things in relation to this, and I'm discussing it with the devs. Use it, try and get it. I've already gotten 3, so try and farm Nightmare Dungeons. You guys will be able to get this. It's really strong for minions. I recommend trying to get it. You do not have to have this. You can, but it does make this build a lot stronger because your minions can one-shot elites that are 20 levels higher than you in Nightmare Dungeons every now and again. So this is what makes it so strong. The minions so explosive, should I say. You don't have to have this. Go for minion increased damage, minion increased survivability, more minions, anything like that, any aspect like that you can put there. It's really just up to you what you want to go for. So this is a unique, which is also not too difficult to obtain. You should be able to get this. The Deathless Visage, great for Bone Spear. This will leave echoes. It does a lot of exploding damage, so I recommend this. Then this chest piece, you don't have to go for this, but I have more armor. Because we've got Fortification and Blood Orbs, I might actually switch this up for something else. I'm not sure yet, but I'm trying to survive. So for now, I'm going to keep it here. This is a really good aspect. Then the Ossified Essence Key passive also increases the critical strike damage of your bone skills by 1% per essence above 50 up to 40%. This is really, really good. So remember we mentioned the passive earlier. Make sure that you've used this. If it's activated, use this. If you're going to be using the minion one, don't have this on. This is really good and it's a must. I recommend this. Temerity is my favorite. You don't have to use it. You can use the one where you heal per enemy around you. You heal a certain amount of life. But this is really good. We can overheal. We can just also provide barriers to our minions because barriers transfer to minions. So this is great. You get more potions. You can spam your potion when you're not even damaged. I really recommend trying to get Temerity. It's great. The boots, any kind of movement speed because Necromancers aren't very quick. I do have some movement speed here, which helps a lot. but also the aspect, I've got more skeletal warriors. You don't have to have that aspect. It's up to you. This definitely, if you're going to be using this build as a combination of Bone Spear and Minion, you have to have this aspect, guys. Make sure you put this on here, this Bone Spear damage aspect. Very, very nice. And try use a two-handed weapon, or you must use a two-handed weapon with critical strike damage. Try and get a very good one with these rolls. Then the amulet. Each time one of your summoning minions damages an enemy, they gain attack speed. Vital. Attack speed means way more DPS. Don't be fooled by just increasing the damage. Make sure their attack speed is up. That's a lot of more hits that they can do. So you can also put thorns on this build. And you actually, you know what I might end up doing? I might switch this one up. That's what I was thinking about earlier. For the razor plate chest piece, the unique. More thorns, because your thorns can transfer to your minions. Switch your minions up. But I've gone for more of like a corpse generating minion. As you guys can see, the Reaper ones generate corpses, but it just depends on you. But you can put thorns on this build, but then you might want to use a shield. I didn't want to go down that route. I did go down that route in my previous video. Link will be in the description. So I do recommend this aspect. It's very, very strong. And also on the amulet, because it's going to be stronger. So this is important for you if you want to spam your Bone Spear more consistently. If you don't want to use your Bone Spear that often, don't have this, you can have something else. But up to 10% chance to generate 48 essence. Any kind of essence or primary resource generation aspect, put it on here, because this is quite a rare one to get when hitting vulnerable enemies with your bone skills. This is very good. We have our essence up all the time. And then obviously the Ring of Mendel, which is really, really good. Slightly bugged, like I said, there's more to it, but it's still a must-have. So let's take a look at the affixes. So I would simply go for critical strike damage or critical strike damage with bone skills, physical damage, armor, any kind of blood orb utility. Dexterity is also good. Bone skill damage, critical strike chance, ranks of whatever skills you're using, like Bone Spear. Strength is also good. Potion drop rate, all stats, movement speed, essence cost reduction, vulnerable damage, core skill because of the Bone Spear, damage to close or distant, critical strike damage with bone skills like I mentioned earlier. Try have that on your weapon as well. Then movement speed after killing an elite, ultimate skill damage, which is all right. Actually, I think I actually want to get rid of ultimate skill damage. Minion attack speed, minion health, any kind of minion buff is going to be nice. So let's take a look at the Book of the Dead. I've chosen Reapers, so they carve corpses. Like I said, there's a lot of utility there. More corpses, we get more damage. There's a lot going on, like I mentioned earlier in the video. That's why I've gone for this. If you guys want to go for thorns, utilize the defenders. This one right here, so they can inherit your thorns. But you can use whichever one you want. It depends. It depends how many minions you've got as well, because the Ring of Mendel, you need at least 7. So just keep that in mind. So when you're going into it, it says here, well, you have 7 or more minions. So just keep that in mind when you're speccing into this. Then I've gone for Shadow Mages. You don't have to use them, but I recommend it. The bone ones are also really good, guys. You can have extra fortification. So I did try this and it was good. So I'd recommend giving this a try. Right here, each time the bone mage dies from its own attack, they leave behind a corpse and fortify you. This can go well with the setup also, but it's up to you what you want to go for. But I do recommend this one if you want to try something different. Then the golem. This doesn't matter either. Your blood golem absorbs 15% of the damage you take. That could be strong. Also more damage reduction from the blood golems. Bone ones are also nice, but I've gone for this one to make enemies vulnerable. It's up to you what you go for. It doesn't really matter here. So that's it for the build. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I love this combination. Hopefully you give it a try. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.